South-tier snails, not players.
Somebody tell somebody in the strength and conditioning program.
South-tier snails, not players.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Jake Mangum, the hit king, the Pittsburgh Pirate, was with the Tampa Bay Rays last year, had a hell of a year. Jake Mangum live in studio at 9 a.m. He'll join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Jake Mangum, 9 a.m. in studio. Mike Detillier over the phone from somewhere in New Orleans. All right. Probably hanging out with Kellen Moore. All right. And Tyler Shuck. And Cam Jordan. And then Bobby Hebert's crazy pills, you know what. I got to give Mike Detillier credit to be able to do that with Bobby Hebert. What that guy can talk, man. I mean, he makes you look like someone, like you just went downstairs and talked to everybody down there. Uh-huh. And Bobby Hebert likes to ask a question on air and then answer it.
I love
He
that.
doesn't even let the guest just, I'm going to ask it, I'm going to answer it, but I'm glad you're on the phone. Hey, thanks for calling in. You know.
That's awesome.
I know. It really is. It really is. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
It is not super hard to get to Omaha.
The show is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds Show, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. If you have, you know, if I'll do this, like this is a big ask. People are going to actually have to think on this. Okay. So I'll throw in a night at the Golden Moon Hotel.
Okay.
2 rounds of golf to Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and a gift certificate for 2 people at Mom and M's, which is right across the casino floor from the Golden Moon Casino Vegas style sportsbook. So you walk all through the table games, which you'll want to play little slots and blackjack or whatever.
A little, yeah.
Then you got the center bar. Then you go right over the center bar, and it feeds you right into Mom and M's. All right. So we'll give away those. That's worth several $100s. Here's how you enter to possibly win. How would you fix this? How would you fix the portal NIL? That's going to take a little. It can be one sentence, a couple of sentences. What would be your guardrails? What's the number one thing that you want to see done to get us to where maybe you're in your happy place? Now, here's the flip side. When I love all of you. When you go to lunch or have beers in your neighborhood or go to dinner, and I mean, there's nothing like a cold Budweiser and burger tonight, right? But when you do that and you have someone who says they're ruining college football, please tell them that they broke records all year as far as viewers, both TV streaming. So we got to balance that. I get it. You're frustrated. Your roster's in kind of holy moly or holy Mary Olzab or whatever the hell you want to say. But also people are glued to college football right now.
Yeah. Numbers prove it.
Okay. So, you know, you can say, hey, it frustrates me. And I'd like to see some guardrails and a model that is sustainable. I mean, Alabama can't get their brain wrapped around this thing. It's really crazy. And they took a defensive lineman from Mississippi State who had 600 snaps and never got a sack.
Oh.
I wish the young man the best.
Like.
But when they picked up he's got 3 names. And so when they picked that guy up the day before, because the first thing I saw Monday morning was one of the agents sent me a screenshot of him committing to Alabama.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, damn, I didn't even know he was in the portal.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't on my radar either way.
Right.
Okay. And look, most of these guys are non-difference makers.
That's right.
Now, I know we focus on Twitter and on the message boards on that small percentage that are difference makers, like Sam Levitt could be a difference maker. There's edge rushers. Cam Coleman may be a difference maker. You know, blah, blah, blah. And you want to retain your best players too. I mean, I think we forget about that. Like Ole Miss and Mississippi State have done some good work retaining their players. But my point in all that is people watched every weekend throughout the season. And some of the college football playoff games have been unbelievable. Now, I know we've had some blowouts, and Kurt Signetti's making sure to beat everybody's. I think that probably ends Monday as far as like a blowout, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just going to blow Miami out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't supposed to blow Bama out.
Oh, wow. Nick says, are we talking about the college football portal NIL or MAIS? Oh, wow. Yeah, I know a lot of you have texted me the last few days about talking about the JA thing.
Scandal.
Yeah, the scandal. And, you know,
Scandal.
I knew about it. I mean, bits and pieces. I know people involved in it. And I hate it for all parties involved. But we haven't done a deep dive into it yet. But I know it's it's a gossipy topic.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody believes that their high school is doing things above board compared to the other high school down the road. I mean, we've lived this. I mean, for a long and look, MHSAA recruits.
Yeah.
MAIS recruits.
Please.
Churches recruit, communities recruit, businesses recruit. It's we recruit. I mean, we recruit clients and P1s and guests and all sorts of, different people, things to the show on a weekly and monthly basis.
It's a necessity at this point.
Yeah. So, but Nick, that was funny. Nick says, again, one more time, are we talking about the college football portal, NIL, or the MAIS? And look, it's perfect gossipy breakfast cafe conversation.
It's the best.
It's perfect gossipy church, pre-church and after church conversation. I mean, it is fried chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy and black-eyed peas and and you know what? So none of us know the whole story
At all.
I mean, but we're going to talk about it at breakfast, lunch, and dinner
with confidence.
and I know people involved.
Yeah.
Look, I went to JA for 11 years, and now I finished at MRA. Okay, and I mean, I'm talking about like I didn't have to go to high school more years than I should have. I'm talking about pre-K all the way through. Okay, I mean, it was close.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
it was close.
Okay, all right.
It was close. But yeah, I guess I could talk about high school recruiting every show throughout the year and get people. Well, let me ask you this, Jay Meadows. Has Chris Brooks done a show? I mean this seriously.
Yeah.
Because he's a guy who covers high school sports.
Yeah.
Has Brooks done a show on the JA scandal?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, if he hadn't, then I don't know if I need to.
That's a good point.
All right. But if you want to call in or text us, feel free. The text line on the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. We've got a couple of things going on this morning. Out of Bounds roll call is, as you know, how are you listening? On 105.9 The Zone or streaming? Where are you listening from? And how would you fix NIL? Portal, whatever. Now, Ben, I like where Ben just limit the amount of transfers. Boy, wouldn't that be incredible? That would make you be so stealth-like. Like if they did, hey, you can only sign 15 players from the portal. So, I mean, man, your scouting department would have to get in and be like, all right, premium positions, offensive line, edge rushers, corners. All right, now we got to work back from there. I mean, I know everybody wants a kick-ass nose tackle or nose guard. I get it. All right, those are really few and far between, but I think there's so much, you'll love this, twitchy out there, that you can find edge rushers. And that's the one thing, like, let me go back to, because Ole Miss has a good defensive coordinator. He's now their head coach. But, like, Zach Arnett can take guys that are athletic and put them in spots to thrive.
There you go.
That is a skill that is valuable. Like, he took Aaron Brule and Tyrus Wheat and made them even better players. So that's something that's tangible.
Yeah.
It is.
For sure.
And Zach Arnett and Matt Brock are super driven, super focused, and super organized. That's what I can tell you about both those guys that just joined the Mississippi State defensive staff. Look, they will be better. I don't know if they'll be 40 whatever spots better that I was talking about earlier.
Sure.
Coleman Hutzler finished 111th in defensive scoring efficiency. Your problem is that Jeff Levy finished 89th in offensive scoring efficiency. You weren't good on offense either.
Your guru?
Now, your explosive play chart looked pretty damn good, especially for MSU standards. Now, I know Dan fired up your offensive engine and did some cool things. Now, he was definitely more ball control, power zone spread, which is fine. However you get to a W, you get to a W.
Right.
But Levy's explosive play chart looked good, but your Reds, look, y'all, total offense and total defense means nothing. Total offensive yards, total defensive yards means nothing.
No.
The only metric to follow is red zone scoring efficiency adjusted to opponent. And, you finished 89th and 111th. All right. That's why you won your first four and weren't good the rest of the year. Arkansas gifted you a W in Fayetteville. Hey, you took it.
Yeah, I think.
Don't apologize.
Right.
Ole Miss has won a bunch of close games. Missouri, A&M, some other teams. They literally peed on themselves, and with, I don't remember what it was, 17 penalties for 220 yards or something. But with Zach Arnett, he can take athletic guys, move them around, and make them much better than they would be. Like, he's light years better than Coleman Hutzler, and I'm not saying that he's Pete Kwiatkowski either.
Right.
Okay, y'all he's not Pete Golding as far as defensive scoring efficiency numbers. Zach may be 3 years from now, whether he's at Mississippi State or he could be at Florida or LSU or something like that. But you're going to automatically get better under Arnett, plus bringing back Kelly Jones and Isaac Smith, and your trio of linebackers helps. I did see the text on why Mississippi State is passing on Chris Jones. They evidently think that they have that position covered, which is kind of a wobbly thing. I don't know what position is actually covered there, but they evidently, Ole Miss, he was there, and then he decommitted. He had a hell of a career at Southern Miss. I don't know if Mississippi State's going to change their mind or if he's already somewhere else, because I'm not tracking all however many players are left. Let's just say they started with 6,000 and there's 2,300 left to land. Look, a lot of these are walk-ons. They'll end up at community colleges and D4, and you'll never hear from them again. So I do love when the national college football media tweets about, and it's like they're up in arms over how many players in the portal. I'm like, dude, that guy's a preferred walk-on.
Yeah.
But you got to count him because he's in the portal.
Right.
I mean, he probably couldn't make Wofford's, and there's nothing wrong with it. Or his landing spot's either Wofford or South Carolina Central State. I mean, sometimes we're getting bogged down in stuff that doesn't matter when it does come to the portal. I think what you're looking for is how many of these guys can start and how many of these guys can be in the two deep, or how many of them can be in the two deep and play special teams for you. And that's it.
Yeah.
Because after that, if you just wear a uniform and hold a helmet, I mean, that's fine, but you're not a piece of the puzzle. So how good is your scouting department? How much have you invested in it? How good is your head coach? Like, we knew Mullen's probably the best evaluator. You may want to put Kiffin in there. I mean, I guess you do.
Yeah, you do.
But Mullen forever would have been considered the best evaluator. And then some of those Southern Miss staffs, like from the 80s and 90s, or, I think those Southern Miss guys were just dogs that were on those staffs in 94, 96, and 98. They did what Dan demanded when he came in whatever the hell it was, 9 or something.
Right.
And what I think Jeff Bauer demanded when he was at Southern Miss, and Southern Miss had no budget, but they would win. And so what I think Jeff Bauer demanded in 96 and 98 and 2000 from his staff, and it sounds corny and whatever, but he just said, hey, we're going to take a left and a right and a left and a right down country roads.
Yeah.
And we're going to find players and we're going to bring them in. They're going to be hungry and a lot of them will be overlooked and they're going to come in. And even though we may not be SEC even back then, and Mississippi State and Ole Miss didn't even have that much money back then, but then the money started pouring in later, not for Southern Miss, but for Ole Miss and MSU, only because obviously they're in the SEC. But I think Jeff Bauer would be considered, and several people that were on his staff, some of the top evaluators to ever come through the state of Mississippi. Dan Mullen had Dan and Tony Hughes. Again, I've referenced this a million times. Tony told me on more than one occasion he never seen anybody flip on tape and watch players like Dan, and Dan could go, all right, here's what we're going to do with him. He's playing quarterback here, but he's going to be a safety. We're going to bring him in. He's going to start eating like he's never, getting fed like he's never been fed before. We'll get him in the weight room. He'll do this, blah, blah, blah. Redshirt sophomore year. Redshirt freshman year, he may get on the field, special teams, may get in the 2 deep. Redshirt sophomore year, the whole goal is for him to be definitely in the 2 deep, if not starting and helping on special teams. Those were the things that you were looking at back then.
Yeah.
Lane turned into this incredible evaluator. Signetti, and there's more. Missouri's evidently got some. Whoever Drink has in his, and I don't know all of his people. We try to follow the Ole Miss guys and the Mississippi State guys, and even they move around a good bit. But I don't know who is in Drink's world, but they're identifying some damn good football players, just like Ole Miss has, Texas Tech, and I know some of it's just money whipping.
Right.
But let's not think that everybody's lazy and that you just trip over players. There's a lot of groundwork laid prior to January 2nd and the portal opening. Now, I know there's a lot of tampering.
Yeah.
Just like there's tampering in MAIS and MHSAA.
No way.
Well,
They're doing what?
yeah,
They're tampering?
there's tampering.
That's crazy.
I know it. It's crazy. But I need y'all to do me a favor, because I do love you, and we're live in the Bank Plus studio, and the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, is brought to you by Total Transportation of Mississippi, offering nationwide and regional routes right now. Right? Weekly pay, monthly bonuses, full benefits, powered by Total Transportation of Mississippi, totalms.com. Apply today on their front page. I do need you to do this. When you're at lunch having beers or hanging out with the guys, don't be the old man yelling at the clouds, because college football broke records as far as viewership this year. So to say that everybody's mad and nobody wants to watch it would not be the case.
You're wrong.
And Fox had a hell of a year, and Disney, ESPN, SEC Network had a hell of a year. And look, it's fun to watch sports. I love it. I consume it like crazy. And I watched all the NFL, and those close games were amazing over the weekend, and the Ole Miss-Miami game was nuts. I get that the Oregon-Indiana game wasn't good, but we got one.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I like the thumping.
Oh, my gosh. He did not let up. Dan Lanning, God bless him. He's the poster child for, we have a ton of money. I'm young. I'm a ferocious player magnet and recruiter. But when it comes to coaching, we're not there yet. Now, I know Will Stein was trying to play double duty between the Kentucky head football coach and the Oregon OC, and I know that's not easy.
No.
It's not. Those Ole Miss assistant coaches did it. I mean, how many I know it's only an hour, maybe not even an hour, in a private plane for Charlie Weiss Jr., so it's not like he's burning up I-55 getting from Oxford to Baton Rouge. Right. But how many times do you think he went back and forth from Oxford to Baton Rouge over that, I don't know, it was like 4 weeks or something? Time span. Wouldn't you love to know the number exactly? Like Charlie Weiss went from Oxford to Baton Rouge and Baton Rouge to Oxford X amount of times.
The chunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, environmentalists wouldn't like that. Burning up their air.
Are you doing okay today? I
Yeah.
really haven't spoken to you much. I mean, we
We've
did
been
not
busy,
on the
man.
show. We did before.
Right, we had a lot going on.
I know.
The portal upsets people, man.
Yeah, well, I still think it's fascinating.
I like it.
I think people who can evaluate, like Mullen and Lane and Jeff Bauer. I just got a text from Brian. He's spot on. I mean, Jim Tompkins, one of the best ever. Jackie's right-hand man. Jim Tompkins pulled so many NFL kids out of Georgia for Mississippi State. I mean, it's just from Randy Thomas to Greg Favors to Robert Bean to the list goes on and on and on, all SEC players that Jim would go over to Georgia and find, and Georgia wouldn't sign them, and Tennessee and Bama and Auburn. It was crazy. Why they didn't stick with that model, I remember asking Sylvester Croom's staff, and they were very they didn't like it.
Nah,
I asked
I
that
didn't
question.
figure they did.
Yeah. So I was going into something else. Let's see. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
You got to tell us how would you fix portal? What would be your?
I like the cap and the number. Love that.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Here's how many players you get. You know, if the SEC and Big Ten and ACC and Big 12 get together, go, all right, what's the number we want per year?
Cap the number by school, by
No,
conference?
it's going to no. The only way it's going to work is the SEC and Big 10 are not going to cap their schools if the ACC and Big 12 aren't going to cap theirs.
That's correct.
So it's going to have to be all four.
Okay.
Capping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So if you found a cap number, not cap salary, you probably gonna have to look at that too. But I don't know if you can ever really hold people to it because they're just going to go back, and this is still happening. They're just going to co-op it with what they can do legally plus under the table.
Obviously.
But I like that. A number?
Ain't bad.
I like that.
Either that or take and separate the people who are, people who actually wanted to enter the portal / people who were processed into the portal.
Well, that's a good point, too. I mean, we've got a bunch of preferred walk-ons and guys who are never going to see the field in the portal. You need to not be
doing in the portal.
all
portal.
You don't want to be pearl clutchy over that. Res Dog is on the Golden Moon Casino text line. I'd fix the portal by firing Phil Lodeholt. Well, he's not a good offensive line coach, so I don't know what to tell you on that. But, and letting go of a guy named Luke Work, I don't understand that. But they know more than I do. So, man, I missed all these texts. We're going to have to jump into these. Jake Mangum, live in studio at 9 a.m. today. Pittsburgh Pirates. Jake Mangum, live in studio at 9 a.m.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Our Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Lowbound. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm not hot enough. Come on, guys. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Show is brought to you by Kessler Prime and the Renaissance. Great steaks, atmosphere, and Elijah Craig Bourbon. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. 105.9 The Zone ESPN. We've got a giveaway today. Golden Moon Casino Hotel Night. 2 rounds at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club. And gift certificate to Mom & M's, which is the bar and grill across the casino floor from the Vegas-style sportsbook. How do you enter to possibly win? Well, on the text line, 601-885-3776. How are you listening to the show? On radio, 105.9 The Zone, or are you streaming the show on the Out of Bounds radio app or thezone1059.com? Where are you listening from, and how would you fix NIL? I see people want a limit on transfer signees and then a limit on transferring. Yeah. So like you say, a kid can, hey, you can transfer twice, but not 4 times.
I like that.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know, again, the legalities of where we are now and the horses out of the barn and all the lawsuits and this, that, and the other. I don't know what can I don't claim to know what can be done and what can't be done. Kind of do like a cap on the transfers.
It's not bad.
I mean, a cap on how many per year.
What are you going to put an asterisk beside it, though?
Some of these guys aren't going to graduate, okay? And when you transfer 4 times, I think it's virtually impossible to finish with a business degree, liberal arts degree, communications degree, whatever you're in. I think, that to me would be extremely difficult to transfer 3 times. To me, would be tough. Those numbers may make you want to puke in a couple of years when we run the numbers on the first few years of the transfer portal.
Yes.
The flip side is I'm not going to blame anybody for going and getting the bag. I mean, most of America doesn't have a lot of money. And, if a kid gets paid $125,000 and he's marginal, $175,000, $230,000. I mean, let's take out the Sam Levitts and things we get fixated on and Cam Coleman's. But if a kid gets paid, let's just say he's a nice player in Ole Miss or Mississippi State. There's nothing wrong with nice. You need several dozen of those. Yeah. It really only comes down to a few. I mean, even as good as Ole Miss has been, they've only had a few difference makers. It's not like you got 22 of them. But marginal player, somebody wants to pay you $220,000. I mean, you're 20 years old. What are you going to do? 99% of the time, unless your parents do very well, which is wonderful. I think that's great. And you don't have to worry about money or bills. Most of the time, you're going to go. Now, look, I mean, do I think that it takes a little bit for somebody to go, hey, man, this school offered me $190. This other school's offered me $220, but I've been here and I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of times you should stay. Okay. But I don't think that you should not take, if you're at a school in the Mountain West, like Jackson mentioned earlier, and they can only give you $27,000 and another school says, hey, we can give you $280. Well, I mean, come on. How many people in this world on this planet with that kind of gap are going to say, no, I think I'll stay here?
Yes, I have.
That is That's rare.
I mean, how many?
Also, a lot of these numbers that you're seeing are not accurate. Just
Right.
FYI.
How many of those players, though, they see their actual number? How many of them? That's life-changing money for a lot of those players.
It's life-changing money for a large percentage of the country, regardless of age.
Right.
If the difference between 27,000 and 280,000. Now,
So,
there are people listening that doesn't mean anything to
Right.
them. But for a large percentage of the United States of America and the world,
Yes.
27,000 to 280 is life-changing money. And if you do that more than 1 year,
Phew.
like if you're able to stay on a roster and you're productive, right? You don't get hurt. You do what you're supposed to do, and you get another 280 the next year.
Yeah, you're banking now.
Yeah. So I think everybody wants this to be real. It's sports, and we're so, as somebody who's in it, sits in this chair, we are so funny. We want it all nice and tidy, and every industry's messy.
Yeah.
Tech, law, healthcare,
Insurance.
whatever.
All of them.
All of it's messy. And so, but we want it real tidy. We want it we want it like our plate when you go to a restaurant, everything's they put that plate down in front of you and you're like,
There
God,
it
it looks great. That piece of swordfish, and I got my side, and I got my, glass of iced tea or glass of vino. That's how we want it. And honestly, collegiate athletics has never been like that. It's just different disruptions, and this is a massive disruption. And we'll see. I haven't really heard a solution yet. Maybe y'all have. I know what Sankey did. He said, I'm tired of people talking about how bad it is and how much they don't like it. He said, I just like some solutions.
Yeah. Yeah. Enough complaining.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Oh, that's what everybody's doing. Not everybody. Now, I do want you to know that this is not being written about because it doesn't get as much traction on X or the message boards. But Ole Miss and Mississippi State, among many other teams, are retaining players, and those players could get a little bit more if they left. But they've just decided, hey, I'm here, I like it,
Right.
and I'm going to stay. We don't focus on that at all. There are tons of players around the country that have decided, yeah, they're still getting compensated,
Right.
but they have decided not to leave. And they could they could use somebody for another 50, 100,000, whatever it is. So we don't want to focus on that. We just want old man yelling at the clouds. Do you want to yell at your clouds in the front yard or backyard?
I mean, it depends where they yelling at you from.
Gotcha.
Or stay off my freaking grass, man.
They just
Yeah. The most I got to switch gears. The most popular breakup food in every state. Some people have been breaking up with their teams. Like
yeah.
Alabama football, Mississippi State football, Auburn football. I'm hearing just raising hell. There are other teams that are happy. So let's talk a little food here. The most popular breakup food in every state. This is from lovelifeacademy.com.
Nice.
This is just on our prep. I wasn't going to lovelifeacademy.com.
Yeah, right. This is like handwritten notes up there.
All right, number 1, burgers, South Dakota.
Had to be.
That's South Dakota.
Okay.
Number 2 is cake for Louisiana, Mississippi, and Virginia.
Okay.
All right.
Cake. Okay.
What's your favorite cake?
Ooh. I like caramel cake a lot.
That's my favorite.
I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
I mean, I'll take a chocolate cake,
Yeah.
I'm going.
I want chocolate or caramel.
I'm going chocolate cake.
but I don't do like strawberry short. What's it called? Strawberry shortcake?
Oh, are we including that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Strawberry shortcake rules.
I don't know if it does.
Oh.
I tell you what rules is a Budweiser and gumbo at Martin's in Livingston. We are the Out of Bounds Show. Mike Detillier at 8:30. Jake Mangum in studio at 9. It's good morning. Welcome in. The show is brought to you by Independent Roofing Systems, roofing.ms. Done right the first time, number one in the commercial and industrial roofing space. Independent Roofing Systems, roofing.ms. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Mike Detillier at 8:30, Jake Mangum live in studio at 9 a.m. You overthought it. All right. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. War Eagle Mama is on the text line.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
War Eagle Mama says, I'm listening on Alexa from Brandon. I would have a commissioner over all the Power 4 teams. Then he or she could hire Elon and Big Balls to come in and straighten the crap out. War damn Eagle.
I'll believe in Auburn and love it. War Eagle.
I like where you're going, War Eagle Mama. You're on the board as entering in for a night, potentially winning. A night at the Golden Moon Hotel, 2 rounds of golf at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and a gift certificate to Mom and M's on the property of Pearl River Resort. I like that. That is a damn good text. So she wants a commissioner just dedicated to the P4, which they've been talking about for years. I don't know why they haven't done it yet. What's going to happen? I don't know why they're so hesitant. I guess because it's been in place since Teddy Roosevelt created it in 1905, the NCAA. I guess the SEC and Big Ten commissioners are trying to. They've already drawn it up. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
To leave the NCAA. I guess they're trying to figure out exactly how the smoothest exit looks to get the Power 4 away from everybody else. And like you missed out on having 2 teams in the college football playoff that you shouldn't have. James Madison and Tulane, nothing against what they did. Again, put them in a Final Four. People would get all into that because, you're right there on the semifinals, right? 2 games, boom, finals. But they didn't need to be in the college football playoff. So I like where War Eagle Mama is going. Rebel Tiger Dog. Interesting. He's listening on the radio from Philadelphia, Mississippi, I assume. 2-year contracts with a minimum and max dollar number for each position. Cap on players and a way to control agents. That's a lot, but if you can pull that off, that's a step in the right direction. That's one thing is that these agents aren't really agents.
Yeah.
And so there's really no certification process like it is in the NFL. So anybody that wears a tracksuit can become an agent.
Nice.
And we saw that in AAU starting in the mid-'80s with the ABCD camp and all that stuff. And then it boomed. So, no, I didn't get an answer there. All right, let's see what else we have. I would set a limit on how many times you can transfer. Fair enough. I don't know if they can legally do that, but if they can, I think 2 would be great.
Well,
but I'm not sure that you can shut a kid down anymore. Just because judicial. I'm not sure that can happen.
Do you throw
because if you allow another kid, Craig Smith, let's say he wants to go to Holmes, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and then Auburn. Well, he can.
Yeah.
He's just a student. He says he wants to, run the gamut.
True.
But then you tell an athlete, we say student athlete, but whatever, that they can only transfer. I don't know how that works legally. I just don't know. Matt from Brandon, the biggest thing that Pay for Play has done is separate the P4 and G5 teams. Not every school can dump $20 million on play. Yeah, we know that. That was in play before. It was just different. People harp on that. The G5 wasn't keeping up with the P4 pre-NIL. It's just now you can go poach that roster. Look what happened to South Alabama with those two defensive players. Right. One went to LSU, one went to somewhere. And they're more like depth pieces. Not that they're not good players, but those two guys are 99% of the time, they're not going to stay at South Alabama because LSU, and I can't remember the other team, South Carolina or somebody else, can add them as depth pieces, and then they can make more money. I mean, you can pay them several $100,000 to be a defensive lineman and a depth piece. And look, I mean, South Alabama is a wonderful school, and it's in a good area, and it's still fun to play there. But if a kid gets the bag of cash and gets to play at Tiger Stadium, he going. Now, I do agree with what people – we said this 2 years ago, maybe 3. The guys that bounce around, they're not going to have any kind of alumni network.
Yeah, life after football.
Right. Whereas, like, see, Jake Mangum, Jackson Dart stayed at Ole Miss 3 years. Jake Mangum was at Mississippi State 4 years. Josh Hubbard's at Mississippi State in his 3rd year. You know, we'll see how that goes, but when you stay somewhere and you get to know people, you can get plugged in after you're done with your playing career. That's a big deal.
It's one of the points.
Right? I mean, I was just with Marshall Henderson Thursday night. He's plugged into the Ole Miss alumni base.
Yeah.
Jake Mangum, who's going to join us at 9 a.m. live in studio, he's plugged into the Mississippi State alumni base. There is something to that. So when you transfer for that 4th time, you have no tie or connection. Nope. I think it was hard enough when we had JUCO players.
Right.
You know, there's nothing wrong. They would go to Hines, Holmes, Itawamba, Colin, Jones. Then they would go to Mississippi State and Ole Miss for 2 years. And you could kind of get to know them. I mean, we had great players go through Mississippi State and Ole Miss that were JUCO players. It's funny how 2 years is so much more than one. And if you finish, like if your 2 years are your junior and senior year and you finish, there's an affinity, there's a connection, there's a way for you when you come back to contact a Mississippi State or Ole Miss alum and try to get plugged into their industry and get a job. But if you're transferring 3 to 4 times, unless you're great that senior year and like it's all magic and rainbows and Cocoa Puffs, I think you end up walking out and you're like, I don't really know anybody. I went to 3 or 4 different schools, and I don't really have a Rolodex. I don't really have a net. I don't have, you know, because when you're these guys that we could list for days that have been in Oxford and Starkville for at least 3 years,
right?
But sometimes 2 works, but 3 or 4, like they end up, even if they're not like out, they end up getting to know 15 to 20 alums.
Yeah, I mean, we'll use this.
But sometimes they get to know 40 or 50.
Right.
Plus all the kids they go to school with. Think about all those kids that go out in the world and get sales jobs and architects and attorneys and transportation and coaching, and you've spent hours with them either in apartments or dorms or happy hour, going to games together and celebrating and so on. I don't think you have that connection. Like if you're in the Mississippi State University College of Business for several years, okay, or the, you know, Ole Miss liberal arts buildings for several years, you're getting to know people. You've got a foundation. Is that fair?
I think Trinidad might be the perfect example of this, right? He can spend 2 years at Ole Miss and he can do really well and live.
He's a little bit different because he's a quarterback and he's a star.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not a good. I think we need to think about all the. I think we need to think about all the left guards and safeties and guys that we don't necessarily keep up with as much. All right, Mike Detillier next. WWL Radio TV New Orleans. And then Jake Mangum will join us at 9 a.m. live in studio. You can watch on YouTube. Out of Bounds Sports. Watch on YouTube. Out of Bounds Sports. That's the channel. And we got Mike Detillier next and Jake Mangum at 9 a.m. Oh, man.
Just trying to find some recruits.
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
We have a saying around our place, we eat off the floor. And if you're willing to eat off the floor, you can be special.
I want to know how many people are willing to eat off the floor as they party at Mardi Gras in New Orleans. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Sound and Communications. For your next video wall for your business, hotel, school, lobby, conference room, soundcomav.com. Sound and Communications is the place for your next video wall. We welcome in our friend Mike Detillier, LSU Saints insider, among other things. Mike D, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. Mike D joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Mike, what did you think about give Lane Kiffin credit? Hell, he went to Knoxville and to recruit Sam Leavitt. But what did y'all think about living through the Sam Leavitt Arizona State quarterback transfer sweepstakes?
It was sort of a wild ride with him because, at first I had my reservations, not because of the talent. He is coming off of the Liz Frank injury and had surgery, so he'll miss spring ball. But he was at Tech first, and then he goes to LSU, Tennessee, Miami. And I just wondered if LSU could sort of match up financially, especially with Miami. But Kiffin was able to get it done. I give him full credit. Having watched Sam for the last couple of years, and then I spent some time with him at Manning Passing Academy. He came. We had a long interview, him and I, and just tough guy. And the receivers that were there, they just raved about him, his leadership skills, and how kind of him and Scatterbull had turned that program into something watchable again. And Kenny Dillingham did a fantastic job of certainly coaching that team. And he was so open at Manning about, because in watching him and breaking it down, he reminded me so much of Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. He would pass up an easy completion that was a short throw to either take off running with it or try to hit the deep pass. And Jackson had that sort of trait too. And so when I brought it up to him at Manning, he just sort of laughed and he was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. He said, that's the one thing I've worked on this summer in the short area of the field, of being more accurate. And he felt a lot of it had to do with timing because of the fact he had transferred from Michigan State to Arizona State. And so it took him, a little while from a timing standpoint to get it down. But he said, man, I got Jordan Tyson on this team. And, I've got to be able to use him better in the short area because he felt he was the best wide receiver in college football. The problem became keeping both of them healthy because Jordan Tyson's an unbelievable player at Arizona State. The issue with him has been these series of injuries, and last year he got knocked out for a large chunk of the season. But man, he's a bit of a riverboat gambler, and so I think him and Kiffin will get along fine with that kind of mentality, and also his ability to run. Man, he'll just take off running with it downfield, and you see that kind of Jackson Dart type skill set in him. I thought he threw, of all the quarterbacks at Manning last year, he threw the most catchable deep pass And when I told him that, he just laughed and he was like, I love to throw the deep ball. I love to press the long areas of the field. And so it'll be interesting to see. Again, he will not have spring drills. So Landon Clark, who they brought in from Elon, is going to see a tremendous amount of work. And I don't think Lane Kiffin is finished at quarterback in the transfer portal cycle.
Okay. So Sam Levitt will sit out the spring, and he'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to go by summer, Mike?
He should be ready to go by summer. Normally, I check with a guy that is involved with orthopedic surgeon, and he told me he felt by the early part of summer he would be ready to go. He said he can do a lot of other things, but as far as running is concerned and that sort of thing, that's something that probably would be a May-June issue since he had the surgery back in November.
Okay. All right. So Sam Levitt will be transferring from Arizona State to LSU. Isn't it crazy that Kiffin went to Knoxville to recruit him?
Will Wade, when he was coaching basketball here, he had got the nickname the Pirate. Okay? And when he would do the show weekly with me, he was like, Mike, it's all about player acquirement. Okay, we all know what he meant by that. He got caught doing stuff that today is all legal to do, but Will got caught doing it, and he was all about player acquisition. And for Lane, he's kind of the ultimate gangster coach. Okay, all right. If they got that line in the sand, he ain't afraid to walk over it and do what he's got to do to get a player. And that's just part of his persona. And, you look at what he was able to do, and I think him along with Signetti, and you're talking about the yin and the yang of coaches, they embraced the NIL very quickly, while you had other coaches that tapped the brake all over the place, okay, and some still do, like Dabo Sweeney at Clemson. He still just sort of dabbles a little bit in it. Brian Kelly, it took him till last year to get involved, but I was told by some staffers that, man, for Lane, he's put in more work in the last 2.5 weeks setting up this, transfer portal NIL than Kelly did in a year. Brian did things differently as a coach. He really wanted to handle it more like a CEO, have other people under him sort of tell him what was going on, and, okay, I'm going to come in at the end and close the deal. I don't know if you can do that anymore. I really don't believe you can in this era, because you're dealing with a generation of younger players that, if you don't call them every day, twice a day, they think you sort of have, forgotten about them. That's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Man, you hear it like I do, Bo. People bitch and complain about, I want it back to, when I was growing up. Well, will you get over it? Those days are done. It's a new deal, and you have to sort of adjust to what you're seeing. And we're seeing record numbers. I can't tell you how many people over the last 2-3 years would either call in or text in about college football is dying. My thing is, really, look at the ratings. Look at the ratings for college football.
Off the charts.
Bo, we had a middle-of-the-road LSU team on the radio, week flagship station of LSU at WWL. The ratings were higher this year than they've been the last 2 years. I mean, so How could that happen? It goes to show the interest in college football's there. The other part about what NIL transfer portal does, if you put out a magazine, that's going to come out in late May and June and July, you're going to sell a ton of them. People, they don't have that scorecard, and they want to see who's on their team today and who's not. Because it is a commuter world of college football like we've never seen before. We saw it last year, but I think this year it's revved up even more. And you've got everybody, not say everybody, but 95% of teams in college football totally involved. And what's amazing is how many of these teams are going to the smaller colleges for players. Okay? LSU's backup, Landon Clark's from Elon. Okay, that's not what you want to call a football powerhouse. You think about, what Trinidad did, from Ferris State. My one before that was I'm on the sidelines for Nicholls State. And this is before I was doing pregame for LSU. And I got introduced to a freshman quarterback by the name of Cam Ward. He was at Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
And he goes from there, Washington State, Miami of Florida, first pick in the draft. He was a 0-rated recruit. Last night, you probably saw the end of the ride for one of the great quarterbacks in the National Football League, and Aaron Rodgers. You know where he started?
JUCO.
Butte Community College. That's where he started before Cal. Butte Community College. So people that, these small college guys can't play, but yet when their team gets one, oh, man, he's great. He's unbelievable. Everything, and that sort of thing.
I love it.
And it's unbelievable to hear today, but you're seeing it more and more from the major colleges, them sort of tap into talent that if it was development or they needed physically to get bigger and stronger, going into those areas and grabbing it. That wasn't the case 5 years ago.
Right.
That's the new sort of issues here that you're seeing. And so you better have a bead on the kind of smaller colleges, and even the coaches there who we deal with, if it's from Southeastern or Nicholls State or McNeese or Grambling or Southern, they'll all tell you, hey, look, if they come here, play a year or two, and then they go to a bigger school, God bless them. We understand that. We get it, that's the new world that we live in today. And so, Bobby, who I work with almost every day, he makes the comment, you think I'd have stayed at Northwestern State?
Nope. He would not. He would have gotten paid.
He said, think about it. Mike, I was on a team at Northwestern State. We had Joe Delaney at running back. He was the AFC Rookie of the Year and then tragically drowned trying to save a couple kids' life because Joe didn't know how to swim. And Mark Duper was his wide receiver.
Wow.
Gary Reasons was on that team. Gary won a couple Super Bowls with the Giants. But Gary's family, they would go from one job to the next. He never stayed at one high school for more than a year. He ends up at Northwestern State, ends up being double-digit playing career with the Giants, and, a two-time Super Bowl champ as a starting linebacker for the Giants. He was like, just think of that team. And we were all at Northwestern at one time, along with Ed Ogeron. It started at LSU, then left there, and went to Northwestern. So I do think those schools will get affected by the NIL transfer portal because now you have the capacity to see these people all the time today. That is the marvel of TV and tape is easily swung around. It wasn't like that back then.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on the Out of Bounds show. We're talking LSU and Sam Leavitt, their new quarterback from Arizona State. We're more than familiar with him. I just watched him play in Starkville live a couple of months ago. And then last year, Mississippi State played Arizona State too. And he's a good football player. And Lane will make him better. And he's never been surrounded. Arizona State had some good pieces, but he's never been surrounded with this kind of talent. So that'll help him.
I'll put it to you this way. LSU don't have a Jordan Tyson.
No.
That dude, man, if he could stay healthy, and again, that's a big if.
Right.
He was something special. You know, LSU has signed 9 new wide receivers.
Damn.
In a state that is loaded. With wideouts. Kiffin has went out and signed 9 new receivers.
Wow. It looks like y'all are retaining some players. Some jumped in the portal but decided to come back. Some have just been retained. So it looks like it's been a pretty good few days for LSU football. Am I right there, Mike?
Yeah. I would have bet totally against this that Harlem Berry, he was the number 1 rated player in the state of Louisiana, the top back in the country. And Caden Durham, they were on the same team. I would have bet you a lot of money one of them wouldn't be back, and both of them will. Harlem was the first one to sort of sign the deal, and I'm coming back to LSU. I was shocked, Caden Durham. Over the weekend, he had a long talk with Lane Kiffin, and he's returning to the LSU backfield too. So they've got both of them back. I think for LSU people, they want to see what happens along the offensive line.
Sure.
That's been a weak area. We've talked about it for the last few years. That's not been a strength for LSU at all. They've signed, I think, 3 new players. I thought they lost their most talented player, Carius Kern, to Ole Miss. He was a true freshman last year, but he was a hell of a player. I didn't think they were well coached at all last year, to be honest with you. And I know LSU did everything to keep Kern from leaving, but he decided to go to Ole Miss. He had a good relationship with Frank Wilson, and I think that was a big part of him going to Ole Miss. But offensive line is where I think most LSU fans are now keeping their attention turned toward. And anytime you can pick up another edge rusher and a cover guy, those people are really difficult to find, especially the edge guys. I wrote this about 4 years ago because I can see it when we do all these camps here. The number of defensive end edge guys, 3-4 outside linebackers, is getting less and less. And, you know, I would see this 6'3" or 6'4" guy. He's about 210 pounds. You play linebacker or defensive end in high school? No, sir. I'm a flex tight end or play wide receiver. Yeah. So 7-on-7 changed that dynamic, and there's less and less. Tell me the great edge rusher at Alabama. They always had him.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
No.
You know, you look at LSU. Tell me the guy there. They always had him. Not there anymore. You know, so they're much smaller players. They almost look like kind of pumped up safeties, to be honest with you. So I think that's an area, if you can find someone that can kind of turn the game around because of his pass rush skills. If you Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU, you name it. Yeah, man, I'm after that guy.
You know, Mike, I thought it showed a lot of balls for Lane. I mean, Lane loves to, you know, talk trash and the banter on Twitter, but to take a picture at the Knoxville airport while he was still in the heat of the battle of trying to get Sam Leavitt, who was taking visits, it could have backfired on him, but it worked out but it was kind of brash, and he just put it out there. Could have gone the other way, but it didn't, right?
That's absolutely right. I thought Will Wade did some crazy stuff here at LSU, but man, he ain't on that level. Even the Pirate wasn't on that level. The best one was they entertaining Sam Levitt, and he's on the phone with the quarterback from University of Washington.
Unbelievable.
You know, and I thought after that, that was it. Levitt was not going to sign with LSU. And, that's a strange case, too, because I understand, agents and lawyers getting involved in trying to convince them maybe you can get more money somewhere else. But how do you walk back in that locker room if you're Williams? How do you walk back in there? See, that's the part. Archie Manning and I have talked about this, that all these things that happen in the off season, like you said, I guess maybe older people would remember it. Maybe young people, they don't care about it. Hey, you did what you had to do to get the most money you can. We don't care. But he was like, as an older person, I would, really think about, did you have our best interests in mind? And he said, I always worry about that, how that plays out. So, it's going to be interesting and see what happens at Washington this year with a quarterback that even the head coach's wife went to social media and sort of trashed him on.
Oh, goodness.
We're living in a new world. That's all I can tell you.
Yes,
it's a new world.
we are. Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joined us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Mike D., have a great week, my man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, we got another week of this transfer portal stuff, so we'll see what happens. I think there'll be a lot of coming and goings between Oxford, Mississippi, and Baton Rouge.
I agree with you. Mike D. on the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN, brought to you by Juniker Jewelry Store. If you're in the market for an engagement ring, necklace, bracelet, Juniker Jewelry Store, Highland Colony in Madison, right around the corner from our studio. Show is also brought to you by lunch today, Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance and in Starkville. Wonderful, wonderful Italian spot. And now, don't let them fool you. I mean, their pasta and wood-fired pizzas are amazing, but they've got delicious sandwiches and appetizers. Two beautiful bars in Starkville and the Renaissance in Ridgeland. Jake Mangum coming up next. You can watch it on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Jake Mangum live in studio next.
KS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Now Warning.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
All right, good morning. Welcome in. You're going to want to go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. We have our friend Jake Mangum, the Hit King, live in studio. YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. He's now with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was with the Tampa Bay Rays, had a hell of a year last year, got called up, and made the most of it. And now with the trade, he's going... he's with the Pittsburgh Pirates, which is really cool. I grew up a big Roberto Clemente fan. I talked about reading his book years ago. I had Willie Stargell's baseball cards, Dave Parker's baseball cards, Bill Matlock's. There's some others. Oh, well, Barry Bonds with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Good hell. That was back when I was tracking Raffy and Will and Brantley and that crew, because I'm much older than Jake Mangum and Jackson Meadows. Good morning. Welcome in. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Jake Mangum, Pittsburgh Pirate. Happy New Year, my friend. How are you?
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, it just got traded, so we'll, get ready for a new team.
Where were you when you got the call?
I was in Slidell, Louisiana. Same place I got traded at years ago to the Tampa Bay Rays, which is pretty cool. But, trades are, this is my third trade now, but first time, actually being in the major leagues for a trade. So, look, I'm really excited. Everyone I've been talking to with Pittsburgh organization has been awesome. They're all talking about how they want to take the next step as an organization, and for them to trade for me, it means a lot that they think I can somehow help some way. So, I'm, going to do my best, and we'll see how it goes.
And so did your agent called you? Or how did that work?
Brandon Lau actually texted me. Brandon Lau headlined the trade. He's a two-time All-Star, really long career now, all with the Tampa Bay Rays. But he texted me and Mason Montgomery, who was also involved in the trade. He just texted us like Buccos ? Wow. And sure enough, a couple hours later, the Rays call us and let us know that the trade's going through. And it was a three-way trade with the Astros, Pirates, and Rays. How those works, it's like a triangle, basically. Yeah. The Rays got a top prospect from the Astros. The Astros got a pitcher from the Pirates, and then three of us with the Rays went to the Pirates. Me, Brandon Lau, Mason Montgomery.
Okay. That's
cool. So we're all excited. Brandon Lau was kind of the team captain he was like a team leader in the clubhouse last year with the Rays. He was really good to me. And me and Mason have played together 2 years ago in AAA and then this year in Tampa. So going with two guys helps a lot. Normally, in the past when I got traded in the minor leagues, it was a lot of meeting a lot of new people, going by yourself. So happy to be going with some teammates and looking forward to it. Leaving in about 2.5 weeks.
Nice. Jake Mangum, Pittsburgh Pirate in studio. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. You can watch the next hour. Jake's going to join us until 10 a.m. All right. So Jake Mangum on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Show is brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive behind Ergon and Mirror Lake. Beautiful, beautiful workout facility. They've got indoor batting cages and mounds, turf grass inside and outside. And it's monthly memberships. Jake, you've trained there.
Yeah, I was about to say I did not know Grit sponsored y'all's show. I've been training at Grit for quite some time now. They've been great to me. Everyone that goes up there always talks about how nice the place is. I would highly recommend everyone in the Jackson metro area to get a membership there. It's a great spot. They've been really good to me, and I'm not trying to sound like an ad right now. I'm like genuinely saying I've been going there every day for hours. Yeah. For hours. And it's a great spot to train. Everything you need's in there. And it's kind of like a one-stop shop for me with all my baseball training. So it's been a really good spot for me. And and there's really good people up there.
They heard about my rigorous routines that I, go up there and put in every day. And then, so I mean, they had to be a part of the show.
You haven't worked out in a decade.
Easy's too, at least.
Jake Mangum will do more today than you've done in the last decade.
Maybe 2.
Speaking of, and the show is brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training. Jake Mangum and Connor Griffin, among other JT Ginn, work out there. Will you walk us through what a training day in the off season looks like for you?
Well, for me, the times of when I go up there changes, but something called rolling out. Yeah, I went and got a PVC pipe from Lowe's. This plastic PVC pipe I'll roll out on. Basically deep tissue for all the muscles you can hit. I stretch. I hit Jaeger bands, which is like a form of shoulder care. This off season, I'm trying the new throwing routine, so I'm going like 4 or 5 days a week throwing. Probably 3 days max effort. Go straight into hitting. I hit both sides of the plate, left-handed, right-handed, tee, flip, batting practice, machine work, you name it. Try to limit the swings to about 100. If we can keep it around 100. Or in December, it was a lot more, actually. Now I'm trying to keep it around 75 or 80 because we got 190 games coming up starting in about, probably Valentine's Day.
Right.
And after that, workout 6 days a week. A 6-day split is kind of what you call it. It's a push day, it's a pull day, it's a leg day, push day, pull day, leg day. 6 days. Try to take Sundays off, and it's my job, So this is what I do for a living, and hopefully I can keep doing it for a long time.
Absolutely, Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show. What made you change your throwing
program?
Yeah.
The whole philosophy, like if you want to be fast, run fast. If you want to be strong, lift strong. If you want to get in shape, then get in shape. There's not really a secret to it. My arm was kind of bothering me late in the year last year. So this offseason I decided to throw more. And my bad, y'all. And my mom's calling me. She's definitely going to
tell Stacy we said hello and we love her.
Yeah, she's definitely probably listening to this right now. Throwing more is helping my arm. Like this is the best my arm's ever felt, and it's late January, and the strength's up, pain's gone, just because I've been throwing more.
Yeah. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show. He trains at Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive behind Ergon and Mirror Lake. How long did it take them before the Pirates shipped you merch?
Yeah.
Dude, it's been pretty crazy.
I like your
our head clubhouse guy, Bulls is his nickname.
Of course.
Toro.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. He sent me a big old box of stuff. And then some like companies from the Pittsburgh area.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like this one's dude, I'm gonna miss somebody. I can't start naming them all.
No, that's okay.
Like, it's
been
like 4 or 5 companies around the Pittsburgh area that are like Pittsburgh fans. The black and gold around the town is really, really cool. The Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins. So all their professional teams have the same exact colors, and all their merch kind of matches it. Yeah. It's good colors too. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I love it. I ordered a pullover with just the P on it.
Yeah, the P looks good too.
Yeah, it does. So,
you a fan of the City Connect jerseys?
I actually, the City Connects jerseys are the PGH ones.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten anything from that yet, but
it's on the way. They're awesome.
Hey, do you still get you've been around? I've only got a minute. We've got 2 more segments, but do you still get excited about merch coming in, even with all the stuff you've been able to do?
Yeah. I got this hoodie yesterday. I put it on today because it was so cold.
Yeah, so, it looks great.
Yeah, it's sharp.
Yeah. All right, Jake Mangum will join us for the next 2 segments. He's with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's heading down in 2.5 weeks. We're going to get him to tell us where he's going and what all that will look like. And what was cool for Jake, as he just walked us through, is that he's going in this trade with a couple of teammates, which is pretty awesome. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Good morning. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by Visit Starkville, Mississippi's college town. FlyStarkville.org. Dallas, Fort Worth, direct flights into GTR and Atlanta every day. FlyStarkville.org. Mississippi's college town is on fire. Our friend Jake Mangum's heading up today because this is what he does. He's going to be rooting for the Mississippi State basketball team. He's been to soccer games, women's basketball. This guy is maroon and white and a dog through and through. Mississippi State and Bama. Late tip tonight, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock tip, yep.
8 o'clock tip. Dogs and Roll Tide. We'll see if Hubbard and Epps and the crew can come through. The show is also brought to you by Grit Training, Fitness and Training Facility, where Jake Mangum works out. And it's also brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Jake Mangum is now with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Mangum, where is spring training for the Pirates?
Bradenton, Florida, just south of Tampa, actually. Okay. Probably 20 minutes south of Tampa. Yeah, it's they call it Pirate Town, is where the minor league side is, and it's like a 5-minute drive to the major league stadium. It's Lecom is the name of the stadium, but yeah, cool spot. It's West Coast Florida spring training. I've only had East Coast Florida and now West Coast with Tampa and the Pirates. So never done an Arizona spring training, but hopefully this is the last time we get traded, So, but Bradenton's a great spot, and I'm excited about it.
And how far is it from where you were in spring training last year?
I'll tell you about an hour. An hour from Port Charlotte.
Okay.
Tampa was in Port Charlotte, Florida, but I'm going to get down there February 1st. The games will start up. I think report days like February 10th or 12th. The games will start up February 20th, probably. I think that's the date. And then we'll play 30 spring training games, and then we'll play 162 regular season games.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 30 spring training games.
Yeah, if you include spring training, it's about 192 games.
Okay.
And, if you're fortunate enough to make playoffs, you start looking at, around 200.
You went to Jackson Prep and Mississippi State. Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
How cool is it?
They're really cool, man. There's the odds of that's crazy.
Yeah.
Will Warren was the first Jackson Prep Major League Baseball player, debuted with the Yankees 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I debuted last year with Tampa Bay Rays, and now I'm getting traded to. There's a extremely, extremely good chance the third is going to be Connor Griffin, and being possibly his teammate very, very soon is crazy.
Yeah. So you already knew each other.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a very unique baseball player, man. It's a special talent. It's hard to describe, the way, he is as a baseball player. I just say he's a freak. So,
right.
He is talented. He looks the part. He's got a good swing, good arm, moves quick, athletic. He's going to play baseball for a very, very long time.
Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds Show. You can go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. So do you feel like with what you went through last year, you're better? I mean, you've been preparing your whole life. You had success in the minor league system, but you made it up and stayed up. Mm-hmm. I know you got injured, but you still went right back in, got plugged back in. Do you just feel like you know a little bit more this year going in?
Yeah, look, there's nothing in the minor leagues that prepares you for the major leagues. It's a whole nother level. And I know every level is different, but just in the major leagues, it's just everything's just better. It's the fastball is a little bit faster. The slider's a little bit more break. The changeup blends in with the fastball better. The defenses are better. The hitters are better. It's just the biggest jump you can possibly make. It's bigger than high school to college. It's bigger than college to pro.
Damn.
Yep. And I was wrong about that. I thought it would be, just another normal jump, but it's not.
So it's it.
Yep. It's a pretty sizable gap. And getting a year of experience is something that really, I think, will help me in the long run. I thought throughout the year I kept, getting more acclimated. And on top of that, you walk out and you're playing in front of, 50, whatever it is, 1,000. Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park was in our division. Camden Yards was in our division. And, now I'm going to the Central. I'm switching leagues. I'm going to the National League now. Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals.
I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. You know, when you walk out on all these stadiums, you kind of just, you know, you feel the history. Wrigley and Fenway, the two coolest I've played at, I'd say for sure.
Yeah.
The tradition of it was kind of what set them apart.
Yeah, you joined us in October in Starkville at our Visit Starkville remote, and you mentioned how cool it was to play in Wrigley and Fenway. All of them, but Wrigley and Fenway.
Unbelievable.
Just historic, iconic.
Yeah,
playing during the day.
I have like six stadiums I have to go to, and I'm going to all of them this year.
Nice.
Oddly enough, at the end of this year, the only MLB stadium I haven't played in will be, or if Lord willing, I stay up all year, stay healthy all year. But the only stadium I won't go to this year that I didn't play in last year is Tropicana Field.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. He told us that in October.
I played in the minor league park last year with the Tampa Bay Rays, and they came to us last year. So they're coming to Pittsburgh early in the season this year.
And guess what, Jake? Your first spring game is against Tampa Bay Rays.
First spring games against Tampa? Yeah, we're probably going to play them a lot at Tampa in spring training. They're only like an hour from us. So, they come to PNC Park this year. Now, granted, I'm fired up to go. PNC Park's one of the ones I didn't play in last year, so I'm going to knock out one of them with the home park this year. But, so got to get to Tropicana Field somehow, which is crazy because I played for them for a year.
And it could be cold the first, month or so.
Pittsburgh's going to be cold in April. There's going to be some cold days.
Yeah. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show, traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates along with two other teammates, Brandon
Lau and Mason Montgomery.
Okay.
You'd already been teammates with Montgomery at Durham.
Yep. 2 years with Mason, 1 year with Brandon.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's cool. That's awesome. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show. All right. What the alumni game?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All the star power that the school brought in.
Yep. I don't know how they're going to do that going forward, but I don't know if it's going to be a yearly thing or every other yearly thing. But it was a cool event. We had 10,000 deep at Duty Noble Field to watch a bunch of alumni play baseball. So it was a cool event. It being on Friday night of Georgia weekend was a great idea. I think that helped the crowd a lot, and really cool event, really well done. We'll see what we do going forward.
As many people as you know in the Mississippi State baseball family, did you meet an alum that weekend that you thought, oh man, it's cool, I got to meet this guy?
Yeah, plenty. There's a good bit of guys that I'd never really formed a relationship with over the years that came that weekend, and got to play against them, got to play with them. There's a lot of guys there, man. Now, it was 2 full dugouts.
Wow. Were you on Will's team?
I was.
I thought so. I couldn't remember the Thunder and Lightning breakdown, but I remember it was a big deal.
Yeah, I was on Will's team. Raphael's team won on a walk-off home run derby swing-off.
Home run derby swing-off. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Do you remember who hit the home run?
It was Moreland versus Renfro.
Moreland.
Oh, Mitch Moreland against
Renfro won it for them. Moreland was on our team.
Okay, got it. Renfro won it. Okay.
Yeah, that was cool. Moreland and Renfro swinging it off. That's
pretty tight.
It was tight.
Hey, y'all go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Jake Mangum's in the house, and he is now a Pittsburgh Pirate. He'll be leaving in 2.5 weeks, going to Bradenton, Florida, to get ready to go and play at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I never thought about what Jake said earlier, that all the teams have the same colors. That's so cool. That doesn't happen in every pro market, but when you look at the Pirates, Steelers, and the Penguins, they do that.
Yeah, really cool.
We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. All right, on the Golden Moon Casino text line, we have War Eagle Rich. Bo, if I'm not mistaken, MSU beat Auburn in Omaha. Auburn was leading 4-1 in the ninth, and Jake Mangum started the rally with a double. War Damn Eagle. Do you remember that, Jake Mangum?
I do. Yeah, that was a big. That was a big one. Game 1 of Omaha. Ethan Small, first time pitching in the black uniforms, and I'm glad he did because we stayed undefeated in the black uniforms. That was a cool little side story to that.
Those are my favorite. The black uniforms are still my favorite to this day.
I love the jersey. I never really liked the pants. I thought the pants made it. But I love the black jersey top. I like what they do now with the black top, white pant bottom. But I liked them because we won.
Absolutely.
We went, that 2019 team, that was pretty cool to go undefeated in midweek games and undefeated on Sundays. That's two very difficult things to do because those two criteria games are typically trap games or energy type games. And we brought in energy every Sunday, and we brought energy every Tuesday or Wednesday night whenever we were playing good teams like La Tech, South Alabama, Southern Miss, teams.
Yeah, you got to keep your guard up.
Yeah, teams that can beat the absolute dog out of you if you're not ready.
Right. Jake Mangum, Pittsburgh Pirate on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training on Lakeland Drive behind Mirror Lake in Ergon. Jake Mangum works out there during the off-season. Tour it today. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. He joins us. You can watch YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports, and we've got a question here. And if you want to ask Jake a question, text us on the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. So this guy asks, ask Jake to talk about his ultra-aggressive approach. Swing early, not the typical work the count deep approach, money ball, etc. It'll be interesting to see if Jake agrees with that. Jake, talk about your hitting approach.
I actually never try to swing at balls. As shocking as that may sound, like I'm actually trying to swing at strikes. But look, I'm going up there ready to hit. You never know what count you're going to be in that the best pitch is going to come. So I'm just ready to hit. The plans of what you're trying to do kind of changes. But stay on fastball timing is always a pretty simple thing that I would always recommend. But just staying ready to hit. If you're not ready to hit, I just never really go up there and auto take.
Right. Ted Williams said he didn't understand that either. I mean, Teddy Ballgame was like, why would I take? I mean, the first pitch could be the best pitch.
Yeah. Now batting, not now watching.
I like that. Do you know what number you're going to be in Pittsburgh?
I'm going to hold off for 28. We'll see. I was 28 last year. If it stays open, I'm not going to say I'm 28 right now because if someone comes in with more service time than me and wants to be 28, I'm just going to give it to them. So I'm just going to wait and see where we're at in spring training.
Okay.
But as of now, 28 is open, and that's the number I plan to be. But they could sign someone with 8 years of major league service time, and if he says I want 28, I'm not going to,
Sure.
I'm just going to give it to him.
When did that thought pop into your head of all right, I wonder if I can get my same number?
Yeah. Pretty quick.
Yeah.
When I was talking to our clubby Bulls, I was like 28 open. He was like, yeah, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait it out and see if it stays open.
Okay. Bulls is the perfect dugout guy.
What was the last one?
You said it in October.
Guy.
The guy that
maybe in Durham.
It may have been the Durham guy that had a great baseball name.
Durham's head clubby was Stacks.
That's it.
Yeah, Stacks.
That's what Jake said in October.
T-Wall was Tampa Bay. He was great. And now we got Bulls. Bulls is our clubby in Pittsburgh, head clubby. He's got there's a bunch of them, but he's the head honcho.
Okay, Bulls sounds like a guy you want to drink a beer with and eat a steak with, and let him tell story. Just let him tell Major League Baseball stories of all the Pirates, but then other guys that he's met along the way.
Yeah, man. Clubbies just make the whole system just flow smoothly.
Yeah.
Without them, we'd be in a mess. They're highly respected guys around Major League Baseball and minor league baseball for sure.
Do you? Here we go. Here are the texts coming in. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show. Jake, what's your take on Skeens? I bet he's glad he's on his team and he doesn't have to face him.
Yeah,
Paul Skeens a teammate now.
I'm glad Paul Skeens is going to be pitching 1 day a week for us. That's going to help a lot. But look, the Pirates team as a whole, just to let everybody know, it's like their pitching staff last year was unbelievable. Top 10 pitching staff in the league. A lot of young talent. And then this offseason, you go out and get Ryan O'Hearn, you get Brandon Lau, you got O'Neal Cruz in the outfield, Brian Reynolds in the outfield, Joey Bart behind the plate. It's a really good team, and I'm excited about it. I think we can go win some ball games this year, and I'm going to do everything in my power to help them win. Do you know when Connor Griffin's going down? Right around the same time? Yeah, right around the same time. Everyone heads down February 1st to like the 10th. That stretch is like when people go down for, major league camp. But it's early mornings and long days, and then you switch to the season and everything flips to the afternoon. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, yeah. Spring training, what's that schedule look like? Spring training's 5:30 wake up, get moving at 6, and you're there until every day. The games in spring training are 1 o'clock. You practice in the morning, you eat lunch at 12, you're out on the field at 12:15, 12:20, 1 o'clock game, then you go home at 3:30, 4 o'clock, go to bed by 9, 10, and do it all over again. It's 30 games, about a month and a half long. And then once the season starts, March 27th, we open up in New York City against the Mets at Citi Field. Then we get rolling that night schedule, 162 games in 180 days. 162 and 180. Yeah, it's different. It's different. 18 days off. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Okay. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds show. Now with the Pittsburgh Pirates, he'll head down February 1st or a little before for spring trading. Have you had a chance to meet the new MSU baseball coach, Brian O'Connor? I have, and he's very impressive. You can tell he's all business. He's also got a human element to him. He's not just some robot. He's a great dude. Very excited about him. He's continuing to tear up the recruiting side of things. Yeah. And I'm very excited to see what they do this year. Me too. Spring training's great for me because I get I get home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock on long days, and then flip on the Mississippi State game while I grill out and get ready to go to bed after the game ends. That's great. Yeah, we spent some time with O'Connor. That guy's locked in. 7 College World Series appearances at Virginia. Yep, he knows how to get to Omaha. And, he knows. And that's all you ever ask him for every year. That's right. You played in 4 super regionals? And four supers, 2 Omaha. Okay. 4 supers and 2 Omahas. We have a listener. I think I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to let you do it. Ask Jake what his best team was that he played on at Mississippi State. It's 16 or 19. It's one of those freshman or senior years. Both of those teams had 11 drafted players. Good grief. Yeah. I mean, like the 2016 team, I think by the end of the year, how we were playing at the end of the year, I think that's the best team I've ever played on. If we get to game 3 against Arizona, Zach Houston would have pitched game 3 and we would have won that game. Zach Houston was pitching better than anyone in the country at the end of the year. But that 2016 team at the end of the year, we were rolling, and we just ran into Bobby Dahlback in Arizona. So good. Yeah, he went complete game shutty, or complete game 1 run, whatever it was, then hit a 3-run shot in the first inning the next day. Then you lose the first 2 games. But yeah, 2016 or 19, those 2 teams were It'd be very difficult for me to believe that there was any better teams than those two ever. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but like
sure.
the 16 and 19 teams were, you look at that team top to bottom, there was some crazy, crazy talent on those two teams.
What 2016 was Dakota Hudson?
Jack Kruger, Dakota Hudson, Austin Sexton, Zach Houston.
Good grief.
Nathaniel Lowe.
Wow.
John Holland, Ryan Gridley. Shortstop in 2016 was Ryan Gridley. Third base, Gavin Collins. He's still playing. Brent Rooker, Reed Humphreys, me. Yeah, and
Rooker.
And I'm leaving people off.
Sure.
Daniel Brown, Ryan Rigby was an all-SEC guy that year. Reed Humphreys was our closer that year.
Okay.
Or one of our closers and outfielder. He was two-way. But that team was stacked. And then you look at the guys that didn't play on that team, or it was just insane. People forget about the 2016 team because they didn't go to Omaha. We didn't go to Omaha, but just that team was loaded.
Man, and that was Cohen was still the coach.
Yeah, that was my first year.
Okay.
With Cohen as head coach. Yeah.
Let's go to the Golden Moon Casino text line. Brad, it's been cool to see the videos of what NFL teams feed their players. Bo asked Jake, what's the MLB food spread like at spring training and in the season?
Every team's different. Every team does their own thing. But I know I've told y'all plenty that the minor leagues is a grind. You're not eating great at all. But in the big leagues, I can only speak from my experience with Tampa. I've heard great things about Pittsburgh, but my experience with Tampa, we had two chefs. Whatever you wanted every day.
Made to order.
Now, obviously, like they had their spread laid out every day, but like if you didn't like it, you just be like, "Hey, can you fix me this?" They'd be happy to. They were awesome too. Great relationship with those guys. They kept it light. They were fun to hang out with, and fun to shoot it with every day.
And
you're around everyone like all day, every day,
right?
For 8 months. It's like you leave the field to go to sleep basically, and then wake up and do it again. So being around people that you enjoy is a very big thing, and I was fortunate to do that in Tampa last year.
So when you have a night game and you're on the road,
mm-hmm.
Well, hell, it could be at home either way, and so you're done with that series. Is it usually you jump on a plane to get that night? You don't wait till the next morning.
That night, jump on a plane, go.
Okay.
Unless there was an off day. With every team does it different, but Tampa with an off day, we would go home and sleep and then fly out on the off day. If you were asking me, I would say leave after games and just spend the off day in the next city, because flying on an off day doesn't really feel like an off day, and you only get 3 off days a month. And they're never on the weekends. They're always weekdays. Off days are always Monday or Tuesday, always, pretty much 98% of the time.
Who has the most, or who you played away last year? Who had the most rabid fan base?
Boston.
Okay.
Boston.
There's your guys, Jackson.
Like after the first time, my dad, I remember telling my mom and sisters, you can't wear Mangum or Rays stuff to Boston. They were, it was inappropriate for sure, but but a lot of respect to Boston fans. They care about their Red Sox.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the most intense by far.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
What about Yankee Stadium? Was it not rabid as well?
Tampa's Navy, so my family wore Navy to a Navy home ballpark, so they kind of blended in and
around.
Yeah. Yankees wasn't too bad because they were wearing white and navy, and the Yankees are white and navy. So my family kind of blended in a little bit.
They're also soft in New York.
I don't remember if they went to the Yankees. They went to Citi Field, or they went to the Mets. I don't remember if they went to the Yankee Stadium. I can't remember.
Call.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So all right, you're in the division with St. Louis, Milwaukee, and Chicago. So it sounds like John and Stacy are going to be burning up I-55 if I've got my, my map right.
That's
Doesn't
right.
that sound right? Yeah.
I mean, you take 55 right on up to St. Louis pretty much.
St. Louis is what? 5 hours? 6?
And then Chicago's only like 7.
Pittsburgh's
I think it's a little bit more than that.
Whoa.
Easy
Well,
West.
I'm talking about from Jackson. You can take a train. You can take a bus or something. To get
It took me about
I know
12
Pittsburgh's
hours.
13 hours. Yeah, Pittsburgh's 13 hours.
Okay. 13 hours to Pittsburgh. I haven't driven there, but I've flown in there.
St. Louis 7.5, 7-ish, 7.5.
Okay.
Chicago's probably right at 8.5.
Okay. Cool. Now I'm going to have to go to St. Louis and Wrigley.
I'm sorry, Chicago's 11.
Yeah. I was
That's what
like,
I thought. I remember making it in 12 on a
well,
megabus.
if anybody can make it longer,
I was on a bus.
it's you.
Yeah, we were on a big old megabus, a double decker.
Oh,
Yeah,
you went by bus.
Yeah, we were on tour.
Okay. All right. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone, brought to you by Grit Fitness and Training Facility on Lakeland Drive. It's where Mangum and Connor Griffin and others work out. Check it out this week. Tour it. It is a beautiful, beautiful workout and fitness facility. Grit, Lakeland Drive behind Ergon Mirror Lake. All right. So let's. Did you play at St. Louis?
I did not. That's
You just said that's one of them.
That's one of the 6 stadiums I haven't gone to.
Okay. One of the most iconic franchises in baseball history. That's going to be cool.
Yeah. It's Milwaukee, Chicago, Cincinnati, St. Louis in our division.
Jeff Brantley's the color analyst for the Reds.
Reds Cowboy. We went to Cincinnati last year. I got to catch up with him, so that was cool.
Yeah, super guy. He was at wasn't he at the alumni game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. You want to talk Bears for a second?
Yeah, sure.
The Bears.
All right, your dad played 9 seasons somewhere in there?
9 years with the Bears, yeah.
All right. So for our listeners, I kind of take this for granted. John Mangum, Jake's dad, from McGee, Mississippi to the University of Alabama, and then played 9 seasons for the Chicago Bears.
Yep.
And now they're winning. How cool is that?
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. I'm not, earlier this year we had a random off day in Chicago, and it happened to be the Monday Night Football game for the Bears, and the alumni game for the Bears. So my dad got introduced on the field.
That's cool.
Yeah, well, super cool, man. There's, him being, 9-year vet in the NFL. That's tough to do, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It's a lot of contact.
Yeah. Back then?
Yeah, and back then they were hitting.
They were actually hitting it.
Yeah.
They're still hitting.
They're hitting.
I'm not taking away from it now, but
me neither.
But they targeting used to not be a thing, and it used to just be light them up. And but yeah, he still trains like crazy, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, not many families in America have an NFL and MLB that made it to MLB. 2 people in the family. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah,
there. Not counting his uncle
and grandfather, which is crazy.
And grandfather.
Yeah, grandfather, uncle, dad, and I switched to baseball.
Solid genes, solid genetics.
Pretty crazy.
So your grandfather played pro ball?
Yep, 2 years with the Boston Patriots.
Dang, that's cool.
Before they were New England, yeah.
Okay. So you got 3 NFLers and an MLB. That makes for a pretty cool Christmas.
It's not bad.
So where'd your uncle play at the Panthers?
Yep. Alabama freshman year, Ole Miss 3 years,
Right.
and then Panthers for 10.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Is it Chris?
Chris.
Yeah. Where does he live now?
Hattiesburg.
Hattiesburg. Okay. Jake Mangum on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 1059 The Zone. Is your mom just like so excited that here soon the season's going to start?
I think she's more sad that I'm leaving.
I could see that.
Yeah, she's You can kind of see it with how she's talking and how she's acting a little bit.
Right.
But she's great. It's been nice to come back home and see everybody and hang out with everybody. But I'm ready to get going.
Heck, I can tell. You're so funny. I can say this because I've gotten to know you a little bit the last 8 years. Whenever you started coming on the show, it's funny when I see you in October. You're kind of like decompressing, like we went to Two Brothers and had lunch, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, And then November, same thing. And then maybe even December. But, man, as soon as maybe a couple of weeks ago, I can tell you get into locked in Jake Mangum mode, which I love. Just because it's
a long year, man.
Yeah.
It's a long year. And when you get home, you've got to find a way to decompress.
Yeah.
It's a different beast. 162 and 180 days traveling. It's different. It is very hard to explain, like what it feels like. Not just physically. It's mentally
mental
too.
grind. Yeah. Hey, do you ever talk to Adam Frazier?
Yeah. He's. I called him as soon as I got traded to the Pirates. Asked him like, "What do you got on Pittsburgh?" He loves it, and Frazier's over. He's got over 9 years now.
Yeah, so he does. It's crazy.
If he can get a half year this year, 3/4 year, I think he hits 10 years. So yeah, Frazier's quickly approaching a decade in the big leagues.
Nuts.
So yeah,
that
congrats.
Back up a career.
That is a hell of a career.
Yeah, 10 years is like a big magic number for service time in the major leagues. It's a big it's like people celebrate that pretty heavy in the locker room when they hit like 10th year.
Man,
I mean, he got in and stayed in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
What did Jay Powell tell us a few months ago? You want to get up there and slam the door.
Yeah.
And never go back. That's
what
Powell was talking about you. And
it's one thing to make it. It's a whole nother thing to stay.
To stick.
It's a unique thing, man. It's a unique game.
Yeah. Jake Mangum, he's got 6-7 months ahead of him. He mentioned basically 162 games in 180 days, MLB.
Yeah, that's not even including spring training.
Right, the 30 games.
30 games in spring training.
Yeah, and I'll tell everybody, spring training, like that is a grind. Like spring training isn't like you're going down to Florida and vacation, and it's long days. It's long days. It's a lot, but it's about a 9-month season. You get 3 months off, and then you get rolling.
Yeah,
and if you go to the World Series, you stay till November 1st or 2nd. So then you get 2 months off.
Right.
So it's pretty crazy.
Well, we appreciate you coming in. We're going to try to do this one more time before you leave.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for having me. I'm excited to get rolling, and hope everybody's doing all right out there. God bless, and I got to figure out. I said God bless and raise up last year, but we got to figure out something with the Pirates.
Yeah, we do.
Is it Go Bucks Go?
Yeah, let's go Bucks.
Let's go Bucks.
Let's go
That's
Bucks.
right.
Yeah, pretty cool.
All right, and I'll have my pullover in the next couple of days, and then we're going to get some hats, and we'll be ready to roll. So Jake Mangum joining us on the Out of Bounds Show. If you missed it, go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Brought to you by Visit Starkville, Mississippi's college town. Check out flystarkville.org. Direct flights into GTR from the Dallas-Fort Worth area and Atlanta every day. Great restaurants. Go ahead and look for a condo or a house. Jake Mangum heading up to Starkville later today to watch Mississippi State and Alabama in the hump with an 8 o'clock kick. The show is driven by your next GMC Sierra truck at Fowler GMC, Pearl Brandon. And thanks for listening to the show. Also, lunch today brought to you by Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance and Taste Italian Kitchen in Starkville. Their owner just dropped by for this last segment. Jake Mangum, appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk soon. See you tomorrow.